What's up? It's your girl, Megan, and we're here to talk about beginner tips for cosplay. And I know there's a lot of videos like this circling around the interwebs, and I figured I'd give my take on it because, you know, your girl needs some content, but I definitely want to start getting into more tutorial kind of tips videos at some point, but I don't have a computer right now, so what you see is what you get. Filming on an iPhone and editing on the iPhone and posting from the iPhone. It's about as good as it's gonna get right now, but you know, we're getting there. Anyway, so today I have 10 tips to share with you on where to get started with cosplay. So tip number 1. Don't be afraid to commission or purchase some of your early on costumes. So when you're first starting out, don't be afraid to go on eBay or Amazon or AliExpress or Spreepicky or any of those other reliable websites to purchase a pre-made costume. You can sometimes even get them custom to your measurements if you're willing to pay a little bit more, but usually the preset sizes fit a lot of people without too much issue. I recently purchased a Boku no Hero uniform, which is still at Jade's house, but it'll be getting fit and stuff. I was thinking about maybe doing a review for it if that's something you guys wanted to see, but I actually have a friend of mine's uniform. Let me show you. So you guys might know Cosplay Kai on Instagram. I'll link her down below, but she just ordered for our group as well her Bakugo uniform. Now she wanted it to be a little bigger because Bakugo's uniform is slouchy and you want to make sure the shirt fits. So sometimes if you're worried about it, things can be altered and stuff, but like this uniform came with the pants and everything, but like there's these really nice buttons on it, and it's like you got these pearl buttons, like this jacket is like fully lined and everything, and it's really well done. Like obviously my tip for you there is always check reviews, and because you want to just make sure that other people who have ordered the costume have also gotten a good product, etc., etc. On that note, if you're going to be commissioning people, there's a couple things to keep in mind. Don't forget that not only are you paying for the materials for the costume, but you're also paying for the person's time. And depending on the person, it could be 15 bucks an hour, 20 bucks an hour, it could be a set price. You never know. When you're commissioning, there's usually 3 things you want to keep in mind: quality, speed, and price. Now, some people are like, oh, I want something cheap and easy. Well, there's 3 things to keep in mind. So, for example, you could have quick and good quality, but it's not going to be cheap. You can have cheap and quick, but it's not going to be that good of quality. Or you can have good quality and cheap, but it's not going to get there very fast. So it's something to keep in mind. And when I say cheap, I don't mean like $5 or something. Like, you're still going to be paying a good amount of money. Like, even just like, say, a simple striped t-shirt. Well, if they can't find that exact fabric or like exact print, you're going to have to keep in mind that they're going to have to buy double the amount of fabric, well, not quite double, but you know what I mean, buy 2 of the colors, sew them together in the stripes, and then sew them into your shirts. So it's still twice the amount of labor there, so that's something you want to keep in mind. Tip number 2, thrift stores are your best friend. Try not to denounce the quality of thrift store stuff, because people are donating all of these clothes that could be used as bases for things like sweaters or other kinds of things. You can get shoes from there, good base shoes for cheap if you're comfortable with buying shoes from the thrift store. I know I personally am not comfortable buying shoes from the thrift store because dirty feet, but you know, that's just me. But gotta keep in mind that thrift stores, you're getting really cheap stuff for really good. So even if you find something that'd be good, that's kind of like that look that you're looking for, but it's not the right fabric, that could be something you could use as a base pattern, which I will continue on in another point about patterning, but that's a point down the line. Anyway, what you can keep in mind is that thrift stores are great. I've gotten so many things. My Haruka vest is from the thrift store because I couldn't find any basic denim vests in person. The only thing is the one that, if you've seen my photos, the one that has the more, what's the word, frayed shoulders, that's actually Tiffany's vest, Sugar Goats. I'll link her in the description as well. But she took the time to buy an actual like vest from the thrift, or a jacket from the thrift store, cut off the sleeves and sat there and fray the fabric. And basically, she has this gorgeous fabric, gorgeous vest, and I sometimes borrow that just like she borrowed my costume, simple. But again, like that looks like something you bought from the store, but it was literally from the thrift store for like, not even like, what, $5? Simple. You can even sometimes find formal dresses at the thrift store for super cheap. Wedding dresses, whatever. You can use those as patterns for things. Or if you have like a wedding AU you want to do a costume from, you know? Tip number 3. You don't have to buy like a super expensive wig in order to have a good costume, as people would say. You could throw on like a Halloween store wig. Like, it may be a little shiny, but sometimes you can combat that. Sometimes you can find some good stuff at the Halloween store. Don't denounce Halloween stores, people, but like there's lots of other inexpensive places besides like Arta wigs, for example. I know myself, I mostly use Arta wigs because I have a larger head and I'm very prone to headaches. So sometimes if I use the smaller, like eBay wigs or from other companies, it gives me massive headache and it digs into my head. That's just something that I've found over the years personally, but for someone starting out and you're still figuring out what you want to do in costume, don't be afraid to try eBay wig brands. Don't be afraid to try like from Amazon or other places. If you want more information on buying less expensive wigs, I have my friend Anya Panda, who just did a video, link in the description to that, about where to buy wigs or how to buy like less expensive wigs, you know? Good stuff. She's got many costumes that are like, to use the basic Amazon wig or a basic eBay wig or whatever, and they look super high quality and amazing, so why wouldn't you want something like that? Tip number 4, fabric sales. Do not denounce the fabric sales. Even if there's not like a costume you have planned right now or a fabric that you need right away, don't be afraid to check out fabric sales because you can hoard up on things like notions, on other things. So if you have a little bit of money and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna backstock, it doesn't hurt to buy zippers while they're on sale, or thread. You can never have too much black and white thread. I'm just gonna tell you this right now. You think you're gonna have a bunch and then you're gonna go use it and you're gonna be like, well dang it, I don't have any black thread, now I have to go all the way back to the fabric store. You can never have too many spools of black and white thread. Same thing with zippers. Doesn't hurt to have a couple extra invisible zippers on hand or regular zippers. I have like a drawer of friggin' regular zippers that I haven't used yet, but I got them for free from school, so why not, right? Just use what you got and try to stock up on things that are like really relatively inexpensive while they're on sale, because use sales. Tip number 5, plan and budget your costumes. I'm actually going to link a video from Fawn Nina in the description that they did a little while ago about budgeting for cosplay. It's a bit of an older one of their videos, but it's still a really good reference for budgeting out your costume. And I actually use that in reference when I am budgeting out my costumes and trying to figure out how much things are going to cost. I have a little notebook in my bag that I always have with me that's like, hey, if I'm out and I see what I need, I can be like, oh, this is what I wanted to spend. Is this in my price point? Yes, great. Am I willing to spend a little more? You can set like, estimate how much it's going to cost you roughly, and then let yourself be like, hey, I could spend maybe an extra $50 on this if I find something real nice, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, just get there, get your planning and budgeting, and figure out things ahead of time. It'll save you a lot of stress in the end. Tip number 6. Please, for the love of God, do not get caught in cost crunch. I know you always see popular cosplayers, and myself included, getting caught in this cost crunch thing. As we all say, do as I say, not as I do. I myself am trying not to get caught in the cost crunch, cosplay crunch trap, I guess you could say, because it just causes me so much unneeded stress. I know pre-SakuraCon this year, I decided that was going to be my last cosplay crunch. I wasn't going to set myself any super hard deadlines for things that was like completely unrealistic, or I didn't have the money to start until like 2 months before. It's just too much stress. If anything, I might set myself a soft deadline for one costume per con kind of thing, and if I don't get it done, it's not the end of the world. I'd much rather do something properly and not rush it versus rush it, wear it, have it fall apart, then have to make it again. Note my Anna. She literally was a costume crunched armor project, my first big armor project, my first big anything. First time I styled a ponytail wig, first time I did a wig on my own, first time I used grommets, first time making armor, first time making shoes. Like, it was a lot of learning for me, and putting that into cost crunch definitely didn't help the situation. When she completely fell apart at the con, I couldn't wear her the second day like I planned. She's getting helped remade by my friend Amanda, and because she knows how to work with foam and all that fun stuff, and I'm excited to get her redone really well and do her the justice she deserves. Tip number 7. So, coupons. Y'all watch that show, Extreme Couponers? Well, you're gonna turn into one of those. Maybe not to that extent, but use coupons when available. American residents, you got Joann's, you got the Joann's coupons on the flyers and the app and whatever. I know Michael's has got coupons. Like, use your coupons. I remember when I first went down to Joann's, I think I saved like $100 and something just with coupons. I wasn't even buying cosplay fabric. I was literally buying like Nintendo fabric for myself because I'm a loser and I want to buy cute fabric to make cute clothes with eventually. still sitting there in there. I also was planning on making curtains with them. That was 2 years ago. 3 years ago? I don't know. It's still over there. Like I said, you're going to start hoarding things. It's just the cosplay sewer life if you decide to go that route. If you want to buy it, that works too. You do you, hun. But again, coupons are your best friend. Try to use them whenever you can because it'll save you so much money in the long run. This goes along with the sales guy I talked about, like, what was it, 2 tips ago? I don't know. Either way, coupons are your best friend. Use them. Trust me. Tip number 8. Use old clothes as patterns. You can use old clothes either from the thrift store, from your closet. If you got a pair of shorts that fits you real nice, you can use that as a base pattern by tracing it onto paper, adding seam allowance, etc. Just looking up simple tutorials that'll tell you how to do that will be super easy. And like, I know I used to trace some of my old clothes to make things, and it's really simple. Sometimes you want to try to match fabrics, and if not, it doesn't hurt to add an extra little bit of seam allowance to make things work out for you. Old clothes, who knew? Don't throw them out. Trace them if they fit you real nice. Tip number 9, do your research and look up tutorials. I've mentioned research and stuff tutorials a little bit already in this video, but we are now in a world where cosplay and stuff is so mainstream that it's super easy to find a tutorial for what you're looking for. You can look up pleated skirt tutorial. There's gonna be like hundreds of results because almost everybody has made a pleated skirt tutorial. You can find one that works well for you if you don't want to buy a pattern. You could look up, how do I do the math of making the pleated skirt to make sure I have enough fabric that's going to pleat to fit my waist size? You know what I mean? There's YouTube videos. There's like old DeviantArt posts, like Art of Wigs. Their website has like a whole tutorial section for freaking everything. Like how to sew bangs, how to cut your wigs, how to do literally everything. There's almost so much just out there. You just have to Google it. Just type into Google and I'm sure you're going to find something. Almost everything is available for you to find, and sometimes you can even find character-specific tutorials or like video walkthroughs that people have done kind of thing. I know myself, I'm planning on making some video tutorials for some upcoming costumes and stuff, but first, again, need a computer. But please do your research. Always do your research and look up tutorials and everything. Doesn't hurt to ask a popular cosplayer or a cosplayer who has done the costume you're looking for. Just do some research first. Maybe be like, hey, I've done some research, I'm still having trouble with this, could you give me a tip with how you did this specific part? They're not going to want to sit there and explain to you how they made the whole thing, but if you're struggling with a part and you can't figure it out, doesn't hurt to ask. Sometimes they'll message back, sometimes they don't, and it's not the end of the world, right? Just keep looking. Tip number 10, when ordering online, always check reviews. For like example, eBay and AliExpress. AliExpress is kind of like another kind of eBay. Basically, you like have so many sellers, people can sell so many things. Always check the reviews. If it's like an actual store, you can check on their like review, like on the item. Sometimes there'll be like a review section below it. People have posted photos saying, hey, I got this. Sometimes it fits big, and you can see like, hey, if it fits big, maybe you should order a size up and then it should fit you well. Or if it fits small, order a size smaller. Yeah, however that works. I'm on a coffee high right now, like don't even. Always check reviews, and sometimes if stuff doesn't come in the way you expected it, don't be afraid to send it back. My friend just ordered some boots and they were very disappointed with them, and they filed a dispute, sent them back, and hopefully they'll get their money back. Usually if you're really upset about something, you'll typically get your money back of some kind of way. Typically you can file a complaint with your credit card or PayPal or directly with the company, depending on how their customer service is, and they will send you a new one usually, or like you'll send it back, they'll fix it, send it back, or whatnot. It's whole back and forth. But don't be frustrated if something shows up that you weren't super happy with. Just keep looking. Try sending it back, and when you get the money back, you can try to buy a new thing. Anyway, those are my 10 tips for beginner cosplayers on how to get yourself started. If you have any more questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments below or message me on my Instagram, also in the comments below. And I will catch you guys next time. Zoo Cosplay out.